We're gonna finish up the general guard retention module today. So we did stuff from seated, from supine, and there's only 2 movements for the turtle. The turtle's kind of an in-between position. You don't really want to hang out there as much, but it is a great transition position between seated and supine. So we're gonna go over a shoulder roll, which takes you from the turtle position into the supine, and then we're gonna go into a sitting position, which takes you from the turtle position into a seated position, right? So everybody kind of knows what a shoulder roll is, but there's explicit tips that are really, really useful. So most of the time, when I'm talking about a shoulder roll from the turtle position, we're down like this. I'll borrow Corey. Generally, regardless of who is attacking you or what angle, they're gonna be on one side of you, right? So if he's on this side, generally it's gonna be my left shoulder. If he was over here, it's gonna be my right shoulder, right? So whatever side, even if they're directly in front or behind you, you can kind of adjust the angle a little bit to shoulder roll. So I'll show you what the shoulder roll looks like. So if he's on this side, I'm gonna roll, right? And that's all we're gonna do, right? So it looks simple, but there's small things that will make it better for you. Basically what you're going to do when you choose the direction of whatever shoulder roll, so if I'm gonna shoulder roll over my right shoulder, I'm gonna pin my shoulder and my head to the mat. How close the distance is from my knees and my hips of my head makes a difference. So if I shoulder roll out here, it's like a dog's breakfast and I'm horrible, right? But if you shoulder roll nice and tight, where your head and your shoulder are really tight to your knees like this, it's gonna be a lot more efficient, right? Another key thing is basically you're trying to look through your legs and look up, right? So if I'm here like this, I'm looking up. I'll move this down a bit. I'm trying to look up. If I look at the ground, I'll get mashed into the ground, ironically. The next thing you need to do for a shoulder roll is to complete it. And we talked about this before, is if you can't get your head between your knees, your shoulder roll will have no structure because your alignment's off and then it'll collapse. So what I mean by that is if I shoulder roll like this and my head is outside of my knees, see head over here, if Corey comes and pushes my hip here, right, like he can do so, right? So I'm gonna collapse because I'm outside of my knee line. But if I shoulder roll here and he tries to do the same thing, as soon as I get my head in between my knees here, I'm good. So he can push or whatever, and I'm strong, right? So this is one of the most efficient applications of getting from the turtle position to the supine position, and it's just rolling out, right? It also affords you the opportunity to use your hands to push and stuff like that. So if he comes on this side, and I'll do a right side shoulder roll. So if he's like this, you know, coming from top or whatever, even if he has this here and he has this tucked in, he's on this side, so I'm gonna shoulder roll with this side. I'm nice and tight. When I roll in, I can still push and stuff. So my head can't get between my knees right now because his hand's here, but I can certainly push it away. And once my head is between my knees, again, I can just drop out and sit. The main thing is that head between the knees. If you guys have ever seen like Cyborg or Brew play like a tornado guard, that's where he gets under and he flips you. But it's because his head is between his knees. You can't flip. Like you have no strength to like chuck people if your head's outside. It's only when it's like this that you can rock, because your hamstrings act as like almost like a bowstring and you can launch people pretty good. Make sense?